Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Summer 2020. I'm Atlas, joined by LS. I hope you guys had a good break. It was, yes, many minutes between our Dark 1 series and now. But now it's time for Afreeca versus SeolHaeOne Prince. Who knows what could happen? Apart from Afreeca probably looking better because they're not against a top 4 team.
I mean, Afreeca, they have basically been the slayer of Eastside teams.
Yeah.
So far here in Summer, they don't really drop series to them. It's pretty much how it goes.
Yeah.
SeolHaeOne Prince is looking like they could be the weakest team in the league right now.
They did just lose to Humble Life Esports,
Why do you have
which
to
is,
say it?
yeah.
Brought back memories.
Yeah, that was the series, wasn't it? I was watching that one from
Yeah.
home. Thank goodness. Okay, points of the match. Let's get into it here for SeolHaeOne Prince versus Afreeca. 9-match losing streak. Ain't great. They, of course, won their only match victory against Humble Life in, I believe, the first week of LCK Summer. But look, this is real rough because Afreeca, I mean, their last actual victory was against SeolHaeOne Prince actually a couple of matches ago.
Yeah. Can they? I mean, we'll see if they can manage to get another victory here today, or if SeolHaeOne Prince can turn things around. Both Ixu and Kane have been experimenting various counterpicks such as Cho'Gath and Hecarim. What will they bring to the Rift tonight? This is pretty interesting because Ixu, who's been known for some of his more exotic picks, not really finding success with them this time around. And I mean, interestingly enough, even SeolHaeOne Prince overall not having the kind of creativity that they had in spring. And with all of the 80 carries that were very prevalent, constantly getting nerfed over and over and over, Hybrid isn't having the same level of success either because the meta's shifted around him, yet his champions remain the same or weaker. So, can't even really turn to that. Karthus is one of the talking points for the match for Spirit. I am losing my mind that LCK doesn't even hover him.
And you know what's really funny? Spirit's like, I used to talk to him before I used to play Karthus, you know, what was it, like spring season, early spring season, possibly even last year. I talked to him, he's like, no, I don't want to play Karthus. And then he'd lock it in instantly as soon as they actually came out on stage. So not entirely sure what good old Spirit has planned, apart from probably wanting to play Poppy as often as he possibly can. I believe both of these teams have employed some Poppy so far. Yes, there is a game under Ixu's belt, and we have seen Spirit playing a bit of it. Might see a little bit more of her. You can see team goal difference of 10, 9th and 10th place teams.
Yeah, and I mean, the stats are not obviously that impressive. And Afreeca, I mean, their average loss time is super early because when they do tend to lose, they tend to be tilting and just giving away so many kills over and over. So,
wow.
We'll see what they have in store here today. They're going to be on the red side, so we'll see how they utilize it and if there's going to be any creativity with some of the meta mix-ups. But also, SeolHaeOne Prince, I mean, what kind of an approach are we going to get here today? Flawless has really been looking like he is on not the same level of play as every other jungler here in the LCK, but not in a good way.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that Mickey's been under the same scrutiny. I think he's had very up and down performances. I believe picked up a POG in their last win, but sometimes he rolls a 6. But we've seen mostly Snake Eyes throughout this season so far. Whereas on the other side, I mean, Fly has been someone else who's come into doubt. Doesn't seem to be able to cut it against our top teams. But if Fly can get some semblance of lane priority, Afreeca works very well as a team. And it just goes to show that mid priority is really, really powerful.
Okay, well, 11?
Whoa. No, but he's nailed the isolated deaths category.
Oh, man, that's not what you want to nail.
Yeah,
so that is the opposite of what is good.
Whoa.
I don't think...
Wow. Why did we highlight this? This is super depressing.
I need to take a photo.
Yeah, take a photo of that.
Not every day.
How many top lane subs have we seen subbed in and out? I think Hanwha's been playing with 2 as well. So there's Dudu and Cuvee over there, someone in Smeb. So he's not actually bottom of the league, technically.
What we are looking at is burned boiled water. I'm gonna let that sit with you. Yeah, you can't burn boiled water unless
Thanks
you're
for
Ixu,
that.
apparently. Unless you're Ixu.
Oh no.
I don't know.
11th in a
That is the
10-team
worst
league.
stat page I think I've ever seen. That is more iconic than Lep's 0-16-2
Yep.
in the previous 2 games. I mean, they even made him feel bad. Look, he's hoping Ixu has a better game.
Yeah.
He can't. He's like, I can't
Mickey's
believe
like,
they just showed that.
Why did they do that?
Why did they just do that to him? Honestly.
I also.
Oh man.
I mean, Fly also.
Fly's like that
yeah.
could have been me, maybe.
Well, he hasn't exactly been having the most fun, but he
Here,
still has a wry
laughing.
smile on his face. It's like
Yeah.
one of his teammates was like, "Yeah, but at least you're better than Ixu." That's what.
Hybrid's like, yeah, that, you know.
1v9.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's rough. Definitely not the greatest stat line that we've ever seen. In fact, probably is the worst. As Mystic over here, he managed to pick up 4 back-to-back player of the games and has since not gotten,
Yeah.
which is a little bit sad. The guy came out swinging, managed to pick up the first pentakill of the season in, I believe, day 1. It was certainly off to a good start. We'll see whether Mystic can get back to form as we move further forward into the season. Ben, his ex-teammate on WE, back with him. Haven't seen too much of Jelly recently. It's been
Yeah.
Ben all the way.
Afreeca, I mean, they really just need to try to figure out their stride. What ends up happening a lot of the times against top teams is they try to force the agenda, and then they fall so far behind, and then they tilt completely out of control. But against lower tier teams, they tend to get away with it, or the lower tier teams try to force things against them and then end up blundering.
I think it might be a confidence thing as well. I feel like Afreeca certainly can play with a lot of momentum. They do have players that are able to bolster that, especially if they get into a good mood. And I'm, of course, talking about Spirit. But if Spirit's feeling down in the dumps, it's really hard for Afreeca to feel I was about to say high spirits, but I really didn't want to. Let's just talk about the draft, shall we? As Zoe's going to be banned away. First up on blue side, up against Fly, one of his key champions at the moment. So
Yeah.
I do respect the ban.
And Mickey, maybe feeling a little bit drowsy, not entirely sure.
Well, he needs to wake up. This is one that he needs to be present for. Karma banned on blue, which is interesting.
Karma banned on blue is so bizarre because she's such a powerful blue side B1 pick. Afreeca banning away Aphelios and Twisted Fate.
And if you leave up the Karma in that instance, you can ban, say, whichever jungler you feel like or another mid laner. And then you could almost guarantee a TF pick, right?
Yeah, I mean, well...
That SeolHaeOne Prince would have liked. I mean, Mickey's an okay team.
Sad. Being B1, and now Afreeca can try to just respond to this by creating a team composition that Set is not very favorable into, and you end up neutralizing an entire pick on the enemy team. Let's see if Ezreal does get picked up. Okay.
I feel like Ezreal jungler could be a decent choice here. Unless
Ezreal
Spirit
X.
wants to save it. I think for Afreeca, maybe first rounding jungle isn't the greatest idea because Spirit has so many interesting picks that he can pull out.
And you can definitely wait for more information in order to get a more valuable jungle pick. And because we're talking about these things, that's why they're about to lock in jungle.
Right, yeah.
The Lee Sin.
And it'll be Lee Sin or Trundle, right?
No doubt. How about SeolHaeOne, maybe?
Ooh, she's been buffed.
Ooh.
Get that extra damage in your
Honestly.
permafrost. Oh, beef.
All right.
Oh, this is
Fortunately-
Syndra. I think we're fine.
Yeah, we managed to...
And this is
Talk
actually
about it.
something that was almost permabanned against Fly. In recent series, he's been very good on the pick.
Oh?
As a SeolHaeOne Prince going to do the Lucian Yuumi.
Yeah, they might try to do the Lucian Yuumi and then see where that ends up getting them. As the Syndra is most certainly going to be in mid lane.
Yep.
I'm very doubtful that here in the LCK we would have it ever be flexed into jungle or another role of sorts.
Well, I mean, if it's going to go anywhere, it's going to go into the hands of Mystic, but there's an Ezreal already picked up. As Afreeca, looking at what they're going to do to try and deal with this bottom lane, and Brad is, of course, a great choice. Can cosmically bind these two together. And that is going to be the Ezreal Bard lane locked in.
So right now we have two polar opposite types of team compositions. We have one with lots of control, terrain altering abilities, repositioning long range versus the straight up short range hard engage on the side of SeolHaeOne Prince. So it really is fire versus water, fire versus ice up here. Red and blue colored teams respectively as well.
Well themed, indeed.
Yeah. Olaf now getting banned away, so they're not thinking that Set might go into jungle.
And with the Syndra here as well, we're not looking at this Afreeca comp as being a fantastic Karthus-style composition. But we'll see where Afreeca do decide to go. Certainly still a lot of fun to be had, as there's the Renekton ban. Remember, Mickey is the only player that has played Zed so far in the LCK, and Zed got a buff. His Shadow's back to moving extraordinarily quickly.
Yeah.
This was nerfed very early on, and now it's back. And I don't know what that means, necessarily. It's a lot of fun, potentially, but we haven't actually seen it here in the LCK just yet. Wukong going to be taken off the board. Another pick that Ixu has had select success with, so they may as well get rid of it. Allow is still available, but I don't know whether Afreeca are really too worried about Ixu. They may have seen his stats page. SeolHaeOne Prince thinking about their final ban here. 3 seconds to go. Kennen to be taken away. I was thinking Kennen or Jace.
I mean, I don't really associate Jace with Ixu.
No, not really.
By any means, so I don't know if the Kennen ban is in anticipation for that or what SeolHaeOne Prince are really thinking of.
All right, there's the Poppy lock-in. This is likely going into Spirit's hands, but could, of course, be top lane as well. It does mean if Ixu decides to play something like an Aatrox, heaven forbid, the Poppy would be fantastic into it.
Yeah.
And does keep Afreeca's options open. I like it.
It pinches a lot of champions and basically prevents them from being able to be picked without SeolHaeOne Prince putting themselves into bad spots. Now, Alawi's coming in, and the thing that strikes me so bizarre about that is that Poppy is the only champion that she's being rewarded against right now. So it just feels like a very out-of-theme, one-trick reliance coming out here by Ixu, and now with Afreeca, I mean, it's Keen that has counter pick.
It's real
scary. Up in top lane. Yes, they already have control of Lucian, but yeah, now you have two totally different Kassadin is so off-theme with all of SeolHaeOne Prince's team composition.
Well, I mean, the one thing that you can say is that SeolHaeOne Prince, they want to go in. Literally all of them can go in. Whether it's a good thing or not, I'll leave that up to you. But they can at least all dive onto a target and see what happens.
And the counter pick of choice is going to be Kayle. And so Ixu will have some control in the early stages of the lane, but then Kayle will take over, and everything will become a nightmare.
I feel like this is a 100% confidence pick out of Keen, though. Often Kayle is reserved to go up against Ornn or someone that's not going to interact with you in the lane. Alawi's a bully in a lot of instances.
Yeah. Should be able to bully Keen in the early stages of the lane. As soon as Kayle hits 6, though, everything should turn on its head.
Yeah.
And then from there, should be in total control of everything. So, the Kassadin pick, another thing that's very weird about it is it needs time in order to come online. Yes, it has Yuumi there to bolster it in the mid to late transition, but the Afreeca team composition is pretty well suited at handling it. So, curious what's going to happen here, because Set is really going to be stretched thin very early on in the game, where all 3 of his lanes need him, and all 3 of his lanes do not have gank set up, pretty much, whatsoever. And on the flip side for Afreeca, it's mostly just about living and converting into a very powerful mid and late game.
Not to mention Spirit has extraordinary gank power against a Lucian. Lucian can basically do nothing when a Poppy walks up to him. And so we'll see whether Mystic and Ben are going to be able to set anything up there for the Poppy on the bottom side of the map, or whether Afreeca are just going to style on SeolHaeOne Prince here. Mickey, I mean, there is certainly a chance that the Kassadin pops off. We've seen a Kassadin so far this season get an 18-minute pentakill, but that was in the hands of Showmaker. We'll see whether Mickey can show us that there are still some of those sweet mechanics left. Triple teleports for both of our teams.
And we just see a little bit of aggression coming out by Afreeca, looking for any sort of advantage they can achieve here early on, and I can't believe this is going to work.
No. A flash instantly.
Yep.
Yep, Secret wants nothing to do with that.
And one of the interesting things here for Fly is you can go double adaptive, and then you can open call, which then makes you have so much AD against Kassadin.
Yeah.
And you just rely on lots of auto attacks as Syndra, who has one of the best auto attacks in the game as a mage. One of the smoothest animations, so easy to do everything. And then you're able to be a lot more conservative with your mana. You're able to use E a lot more freely inside of the lane, and it just makes Kassadin have a pretty nightmare laning phase. And we take a look here at the jungle runes between each other. Obviously, the Hex Flash there for set.
Ooh, Afreeca not actually giving away that they have a ward there, which I think was really cute. Not going to suffer too much from it, as Fly, yeah, he's just going to pressure Mickey away. And with no flash, it means that that's going to be even easier. Hybrid misses the first CS there, and Spirit lying in wait. This is actually just so nasty. See, Spirit's just going to come. There's the flash head bonk, and that is a very dead Mickey already.
Well, I don't know what was compelling him to walk up to the lane and take as much damage as he did level 1, but hopefully we get to see it in a replay. Things
hopefully
have, I mean, well, things have already started off miserably. And for a team that looks as tilty as they do, SeolHaeOne Prince having their mid laner fall apart super early on can only spell things that are pretty disastrous. And when we look at every lane again, how do you want Set to gank for any of these lanes? He can't run top and get on Kayle. You don't have any setup from Alawi. He can't run mid lane. Kassadin doesn't have any assistance except a Force Pulse, which requires Syndra to turn off her brain. And then down in bot lane, Yuumi and Lucian, good luck trying to actually get onto Ezreal and Bard unless Mystic and Ben really blunder.
Yeah. It's really not a great time here for SeolHaeOne Prince to start things off. Not exactly the highest win rates either on any of their champions. Only one game apiece for Flawless, Mickey, and Hybrid. Has been a bit of DDR to get out of the way of that Prowling Projectile. Worked pretty nicely. You can see not too much happening here in the bottom lane for the minute. Ben tries to find that wall.
Yeah. And very nice Q poke. And you can see Mickey's lane. It's in an insufferable position, having to call Flawless in to help him push it. And this just delays Kassadin's level 6. And it sets him further behind Syndra. Now, it does grant Mickey the ability to recall, but Syndra is one of the fastest wave clearers in the game in mid. So she should be able to walk up to the wave, hard shove it immediately, Spirit coming down for a gank.
Yep, actually really nicely held onto there from Hybrid, just to make sure that he has the Relentless Pursuit available, as that Cosmic Finding was a bit cheeky there from Ben. But Hybrid has teleport, he'll be back to this lane, he should be okay. But Mystic's already pulling pretty far ahead when it comes to farm, and Spirit coming down and helping deny really has only made things worse here, as Mystic offering him. Cute little W onto Secret. And everything's just going to go back to normal. But it's just, it must be so hard for Hybrid and Secret now, knowing that their mid lane has already started off so catastrophically.
Yeah. And you can see Fly is just going to try to shove in this last wave, has more than enough time. Yep, W that minion wave, recall. And I'll pick up an item, and I mean, you look at the size of the minion wave coming into Keen, he's not really that far behind at the end of the day in CS. He still has both of his biscuits and a corrupting potion, so Ixu definitely having a very rough time here.
Yeah. We'll see whether he can find some Spirit to test on Keen's side. That was no pun intended. There is no Poppy in this lane at the moment.
I thought you were just trying to make a bit of a hybrid joke or something, you know?
No.
You weren't into that?
Yeah, no.
Right.
Mickey is going to get smacked down. Oh, that's a fantastic stun coming in from Fly, but he doesn't want to tank that turret for too long. That was a fade away, not too bad.
Not able to quite get the kill. Flawless coming over here. They got to be really careful. Fly is almost level 6 soon. Looks like Spirit and Ben want to go over and pin the Yuumi.
Oh no. There's the heroic charge. Into the wall. The exhaust is not going to do nearly enough. As Ben getting another boot, but the Zoomies will keep Secret alive. It's now Hybrid coming in to try and get something done, but I don't know whether he's going to be able to.
Doesn't look like they're going to actually be able to. Oh, no, they will. They will turn around and kill the ward. And Syndra very healthy right now. It looks like they want to set up a gank onto...
Kane's level 6, guys.
What are they... Hello?
The flawless drive-by. He just came in to check out what was going on, found out that he didn't want to stay there.
I get it. He was coming to ask King if he wanted any Girl Scout cookies.
Ah, got it, of course. Well, that's the flash out from Hybrid bottom lane. And that's just more minions being denied.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually matter. Like, every time this wave crashes, Afreeca are making sure that all of the minions die to the turret.
Yeah, and Afreeca and Mystic, I mean, they're getting such a sizable XP advantage as well with what's going on. Meanwhile, I mean, Mickey, he's doing a pretty okay job at trying to keep up in CS. They're dead even right now, but Syndra's up 6 because she's going to clear the whole wave. And you can see Poppy running around here. And honestly, that's a very exquisite skin.
I really like that Poppy skin too, actually.
Do you know Poppy's lore?
Oh, which
So-
lore? The updated one, the old one?
So I believe that her hammer is meant to only be carried by someone who's
Worthy?
righteous or worthy enough. And the whole thing,
Thor's lore?
so it's similar, but apparently she carries around her hammer and asks people if they can try to lift it because she's looking for who's worthy.
Uh-huh.
But the
So
joke
they could
is
be
that-
friends?
Well, she's carrying it, so...
Right. Oh, so she doesn't even know that she's
She
worthy
doesn't
the whole
realize
time?
it.
Oh my god, that is
I
actually
think
really
that's the
cute.
lore. Yeah, I think
She's
it's
like
canon.
looking, who's going to be the chosen one here? Can you lift this heavy hammer? I'll pass it to you. Oh no? Oh, okay. True shot
Oh,
barrage.
man.
Nice.
Oh, Poppy.
Spirit just walks in and steals that one away.
Yep. Oh!
And ulti utilized there. There's the flash heroic charge. Spirit has been so good with that ability. In fact, both times he's used his flash to get a heroic charge, he's managed to get a kill.
Yeah, and I mean, Spirit really on point here with Poppy!
Oh god, that's Fly with a solo kill.
I wonder how many tickets Fly gets from that at Disneyland.
I don't know, but I wouldn't go there.
You wouldn't go there?
No, not at
I wouldn't go
think
there
it's
either right
pretty
now.
dangerous. I heard that they opened it.
They did.
Yeah. I don't know whether it's still, you know. Disney World's great, but
I'm actually curious if Lotte World and Everland are open in Korea. I don't know.
that's a good point. I haven't thought about that. I
Yeah.
know that like most clubs are closed. I think clubs are closed
Yes.
here in Korea. You
Yeah.
can't do that anymore. But you can go to a bar and stuff like that. That's
Yep.
absolutely
There's
fine.
social distancing at bars.
Yep, and also they take all of your information.
Yes.
And take your temperature before you go in. And then, you know, you of course have to give up your name when you get tested positive.
And
I see a bit of a fight
yeah,
here. They're going to
SeolHaeOne
interrupt our conversation as that's going to be a steal away on the Herald. Leap of Faith comes down. Ixu trying to do as much as he can, but he's down to 200. Mickey comes in. Spirit could be in trouble. The Tentacle's trying to do work, but they're going to stop because Ixu's dead. True Shot Barrage again. Sails majestically across the team.
That's
But
just
it's mainly to
Keen.
steal farm. By the looks, Mystic trying to keep himself involved.
I mean, Mystic's up 30 farm right now. Couple of CS advantage in mid lane as well. Ixu is super far behind himself because also it's a Kayle. So
Yeah.
Kale's getting a free ride into the later stages of the game. And Mickey just falling further and further behind. He's level 7 right now. Fly is already into 8. So very big CS discrepancy there. And also Keen up an entire level as well. Spirit just having such a good performance on Poppy, and honestly, I'm so happy to see it.
I love his Poppy, man. It's really, really good.
Poppy is such an underappreciated champion that can go jungle, top, and support. And just take a look. I mean, really setting set up for failure here. Pinning him. And just really bringing down the hammer.
Yeah, look at the angle.
이거 루시안
So
점이
we have a
어디야?
look at the solo kill here from Fly.
Where's Lucian and Yuumi?
미드 잡았다.
I got mid.
He definitely did.
Yep. And then we just take a look at this, and another really good steal by Spirit, but you have to wonder, what are Flawless Nixu doing? Remember, this whole time, Keen has Kale's ultimate. available. Just never really using it unless the opponents would hard commit, in which case it's just a trap. So
Yeah.
he's holding it in order to try to bait them in. Maybe they forget. Mickey is getting bullied here in mid lane. Syndra's so far ahead. She's so oppressive when she has an advantage because of her long range, her reach, and her safety. And things are, yeah.
Yeah, watching that lead expand as well as the turret plates were taken was pretty difficult here as Afreeca. On the cards for a Game 1 perfect game, this was something that they were known for, I believe, in early 2017. It was just every Game 1 was like so close to perfect games or a perfect game. They were just very, very good at coming out swinging. See whether this is harkening back to that. The roster has certainly changed a lot. Outside of Spirit and Keen, who have stayed pretty true to the Afreeca organization. Ixu still struggling. There's a Hex Flash to get Flawless over this wall, and we'll see whether that's going to mean that Keen has to press R. He may. There just might be an ultimate that needs to be used here. Not yet. Not yet. There it is. As Test the Spirit does come out.
Yep.
But Spirit's not even here, so isn't too worried.
And Spirit just keeping his oh.
It's starting to get frustrating. Malawi is a thing that you have to think about.
Mickey with Yuumi. Trying to run around the map. Still doesn't have his Rod of Ages. Maybe it's going to be a 13-minute completion with no Seraph's Embrace. Ezreal already has the Iceborne Gauntlet that's really sticking it to Lucian right now in any mid-game transition fights as well. 4,000 gold lead here at 12.5 minutes.
And Afreeca, at 12.5 minutes, have this control ward that they are controlling in the enemy jungle. Like,
they've had it there for a while. The 5th turret plate, first turret of the game, going down, spread out amongst 3 members. Hextech Gunblade already complete on Kayle. Mystic going to move over now. It looks like they're going to pick up the Infernal Dragon. And honestly, I mean, if Mystic would go Leandries with his Iceborne, this is such an insane Drake for him.
Yep.
I always got to find a way to weave
I know. It's just the sale. You are very good. Did you have a chat to the shopkeeper? Did you have that conversation?
Some might say
how he
was
manages to sell all of these Morellos? That shop must just be full. It's just got bookshelves.
2 shopkeeper, and then there's the lost shopkeeper, which is me because of my lost sight.
Ah, right. Got it.
You know, and losing sense.
You certainly lose a lot of things. Actually,
I do.
Because I feel like losing is the easiest way to make an acronym out of an L. I think it's a bit lazy. I think you guys could be a little bit more creative, but that's all right.
What?
You don't need to be losing everything, you know? Lost speech, lost sight, lost shopkeeper, lost sandwich. How many more things do we need to lose?
You're making me lightly salty.
There we go. That's much better.
Yeah.
A lot of smiles over here.
A lot of
As Flawless going to move up with his secret Yuumi. And Hybrid's going to take a turret plate here for SeolHaeOne Prince. He's trying his best to get this squad back on track, but they're close to 5,000 gold behind. And we've started talking about LS acronyms, and that means that things certainly have gone a little bit awry here. As Mystic, he teleports towards the top side. No more plates for you, Mr. Hybrid.
Yeah. And this game is just going to be super brutal right now for SeolHaeOne Prince. Oh, it's
Control
bad.
ward's dead. Quickly, guys. Oh, no. Just set kills things too fast.
And the other thing about the game state right now is Alawi, she is one of those champions that can, well...
I think a bit of a team fight here is, secret. No one to go back to.
Oh, Gromp was killing
Spirit's
her.
going to grab it. Yeah, exactly. Even the Gromp's getting involved. As Flawless was tempered faded out of the fight. This is a double teleport onto Keen, and Keen's decided that he can take them. See whether he's going to be able to. Hasn't had to use his flash yet. He goes pretty fast, as you can see, but gets slowed down, and now he's just dead, guys.
Yeah, I don't know what his decisions
don't give Mickey the kill. That's a bad move. As he's trying his best to avoid them here. Mickey does not a lot of damage, but still, that Rift Walk going to be enough. As Afreeca not going to be getting a perfect game this time around.
No. It does cost them 2 teleports and a rotation down by Kassadin, causing him to lose the mid-minion wave. So, it's not like that was totally for free, but definitely a much-needed kill on the target that would be best for it.
Yep, true.
So, Mystic now up here in top lane. trying to just continue to farm it out. It's going to be the next Rift Herald as well, going over to Afreeca.
Yep, Ixu getting some work done on this outer turret. Unfortunately, the plates have fallen down, but if he can kill this, that's certainly still going to be a great thing for SeolHaeOne Prince. As we have a look at it one more time, this is the kill onto the Yuumi.
Yep. And
oh, you and me was
there it is. Yeah, denied by Poppy. She's such a great champion. When there's so many champions in the meta right now that have dashes,
yeah,
and things of that nature. So we take a look at this now. Keen not paying attention to behind himself. The teleport comes out, and if he flashes right away, Lucian will just flash and then follow up with culling. So it's the same sequence of events. I just would have imagined that he would have tried to go over to the left-hand side and maybe unite with Syndra, if that would be at all possible. But probably just thought that Mickey on Kosadin would be able to collapse in time first and pick up the kill regardless. But probably not going to matter all that much, as we have a 6,000 gold lead with an Infernal at 16 minutes.
Yeah. It's, look, there's a possibility. I was having a conversation with the Korean commentators, and Wadid was telling me that Cloud Templar always finds that way that one of the teams can win. Even in the last series, right? Damwon versus Sandbox. Those games were basically over at 7 minutes. But Cloud Templar has this way of talking about a team and finding this one thing that could potentially bring them back that doesn't involve their computers exploding. And I don't know quite how SeolHaeOne Prince are going to be able to do it unless Keen keeps throwing himself over and over into them or something like that. But this is such a huge deficit for SeolHaeOne Prince to get past.
Yeah, you know what? Let me take a whack at it.
Yeah, give it a go. Give it a shot.
So I think in the event that Kale accidentally presses R before a team fight.
Got it.
And Syndra QW and E's the opposite direction. Ezreal Arcane Shift plus flashes into the enemy team.
All right, Keen hit level 11. That's scary. That's a perfect timing. That's going to mean that that turret will stay alive. Continue.
And then all 4 of the Afreeca members clump up for Poppy to be superplexed into a 5-man face breaker as Alawi flashes forward with her ultimate. All while getting
has a huge
snared.
mega stack on his rift
coming
walk.
in
Okay.
off of a teleported 4-stack rift walk from base with Guard.
Got
as Yuumi snares them up. He flashes forward and R's on top of them at the exact time that Lucian's Q AoEs on all 5 of them.
Not to mention
after
the
this,
blaze.
The game will still proceed for 20 minutes. And then there will be a Baron team fight.
Got it.
In which case, they will steal it, win the fight, get an Elder,
yeah,
still struggle to close, and then win through a backdoor. And I just want to let you know that that's in the other script that I didn't select for today.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So wait, you're offered these scripts sometimes?
Sometimes it's sort of like a choose-your-own-adventure book.
Well, I mean, that would have been an adventure that I would have liked to have gone on. Can you offer me some of these these options?
I didn't take it because there was a 19-minute lull state from 21 minutes to 38, and I just thought, you know.
Really?
Yeah, it's a
I
little
would have
too
liked
long.
that.
Oh, all right. Well,
we could have spoken about apple crumble and things like that. Ooh, I really like apple crumble. Do you like apple
I just realized Zoe's newest skin, it looks like apple caramel tea.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of like thrown in together.
I like that.
Yeah.
Spirit's face is a little bit broken. Showstopper comes down. There's a Tempered Fate to make sure that Spirit stays alive for as long as possible. And he is going to. Gets the ulti out of Kale as well. It's a very dead set. As Mickey, yeah, he's rift walking out of there. And Kale saves the day once again. And Afreeca, they turn a bad situation into a good one. Test the Spirit comes in. But Ixu takes the majority of his health bar. Unleash Power was close, but maybe needed an extra orb on the ground there, Fly. As Spirit, you can see that he's lining it up. He's got that flash available once again.
Yeah.
And there he goes. Doesn't find the wall. He was hoping that Mickey clicked in a different direction right there, but that's all right. They still get the turret.
And, I mean, the game just continues to extend in terms of gold lead and pressure. Kosadin is level 11 right now with a Yuumi, but I really just don't think that it's going to matter outside of something super horrific happening, like we mentioned before.
Yeah. No, you took us through exactly what the scenario needs to be in order for this to happen. Looking forward to when Mickey does go back to base purchases his Archangels, which will immediately be a Seraphs, then starts stacking it and stacking it on that fountain.
Okay.
And presses that R button.
Right, off of a teleport.
In the meantime, you've got all of that other setup that doesn't involve Secret just dying, wandering around in the middle of nowhere.
The question for me, and it's not a secret, is what the hell was he doing there at this point in time? And I'm just looking forward to seeing it in the replay if we get one.
We will find it eventually.
Yeah, Superflex.
Tempered Fate was very nice as well.
Yeah. And really nice ultimate out of Kale. Mickey not really able to do anything. He would just be jumping to his death here. And Hybrid and Ixu not really able to follow up with anything either. So this game, Afreeca, I mean, this is what they've done very often to teams on the east side, is they smack them around.
Yeah.
And they just walk all over them, and then they're able to convert it into a pretty decisive win. But when they collide with the Elite Four, that's where they experience a lot of struggle.
And also, I mean, remember in spring, they also fell to KT at the, second half of the season. So we need to keep tabs on Afreeca and see whether they can continue to be our test for the East, the benchmark of what you have to get through the gatekeepers, as they were spoken about in the points of the matches. Spirit is going to find a really nice stun there onto Ixu. Ixu is dead, guys.
Yep.
Real dead.
And the level discrepancies everywhere is super big as well. 2 in jungle, maybe 1.5 in mid lane, 1 in AD carry. And the supports are even, but that doesn't really matter. And the additional base levels are not just extra skill points. It's the base HP, which can invalidate certain spell casts effectively. Turret shots as well. Yep. Mystic, getting a bit of damage onto him. 1 minute until Ocean Dragon. Now, if Afreeca want to play it as absolutely Captain Careful as possible, they could just go and play for Soul.
Yep. I don't think they will. It's a 9,000 gold lead, and I have a feeling they know that it's somewhere around there. I do like that you bring up the levels, because I feel like this was manufactured, mostly, by Afreeca. But we're not going to be able to talk about it. We'll just have to watch Ixu die again.
He just runs in, gets pinned, tries to get his ultimate off, but doesn't really have a lot of value. He's very, very
anemic.
Yeah. This game, not having the best of times.
Yep.
A bit of Build-A-Bear going on inside of the inventory. Set is just going for a standard Set build, and when Set is behind, it's just the same thing as Olaf and Bully-Bear being behind. They don't really do a whole lot.
And also, I mean, SeolHaeOne and Prince have absolutely no vision, but Keen walks into one area that they do. Gonna take a fair bit of damage there as the culling flies in. Remember, Keen does still have his ultimate. Test the Spirit is going to still be good. On to Spirit as well, so that's very fitting. Now Mickey is in so much trouble. Fly wants to find the ulti, but doesn't get there.
Yep.
Last chapter going to be enough.
And the Ocean Dragon's alive.
Yeah, true. An opportunity here, but Afreeca walking.
Flawless?
If they want to, yeah, Flawless is running around very quickly. Certainly in an odd position. As Mystic is on the hunt, he is aggressive right now. Feels like he's hit his power spike. I have a feeling he has, as Afreeca bully them away from this Ocean Drake, which is absolutely theirs, and that's the sole point in another 5 minutes' time, assuming this game can actually last that long. Still at 9,000 gold for the lead. Afreeca can walk towards the Baron and just take it if they want to. They're pinging on it right now. See whether they do make that call. Because their Baron turns are also pretty outstanding, on top of the fact that Spirit can basically face check whatever he wants. And he's going to do that right now. Will find Flawless. We'll see where the heroic charge comes in. There it is. Hybrid going to just die in the meantime, and now Flawless is going to get closed in on good flash. Gets himself out of the way. But without their AD carry, SeolHaeOne and Prince just do not have enough damage.
No. And
Ixu's on the bottom side of the map as well.
Hybrid has teleport available, but there's no way they can realistically contest this. They would lose the game if they do so. And okay, they're going to do so. Are you ready, Atlas?
Yeah, well, there's the teleport, like you were talking about. Mickey trying to get into position. The ulti's not going to land, but Flawless just dies before anything can even happen in the middle of the show. It was trying to be stopped. Also, the Leap of Faith comes in, and immediately, Ixu is just eliminated as Afreeca will eventually go back to this Baron unless they decide that they really want to take down Mickey, but it doesn't look like that's on the agenda. And my god, the damage out of Afreeca.
Today has just been a complete day of blowout so far. As Afreeca, they extend their gold lead to 11,000 here at 25 minutes. And 3 Dragons threatening Ocean Soul. And for some reason, I mean, Spirit is finding the game hysterical.
Yeah, so is Secret, which was interesting. Not sure why Secret was finding it so funny. But it's better to stay happy and try and brush off losses like this, because this is just the most over. And
Spirit,
dwelling on it doesn't do you any good.
The weird thing is Flawless uses such a heavy cooldown on the Raptor, or the Wolf Camp. Doesn't really serve a huge purpose. I think it's one of those things that you can look at and just know that the player is tilted when they start doing clearly suboptimal things.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, we see it here as well. They call in the teleport. They're looking for an angle. FedEx runs in. Superplex. Captured midair. That's overnight delivery. Costa not able to really do a whole lot.
And Ixu did manage to get his ultimate off.
Yes.
So that did happen. But then immediately afterwards he was dead. As Kane's going to probably be able to take down this turret. SeolHaeOne Prince are in the mid lane. Mystic just patrolling around. Afreeca have completely closed the eyes of SeolHaeOne Prince right here. See every ward is being removed. Apart from a couple of lonely ones, but Ixu, oh my good, he can't even press his E button onto Afreeca because he takes his whole health bar if he goes that close. As there's a showstopper. Flawless?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Flawless dying.
Chapter comes in, that is a brilliant double
nice
effort fade. The ulti comes out from Spirit as well, and I thought he was going to pick one target and pin them, but no. Decides to knock both of them up, gather 2 of those kills, and now Secret is the little cat on a book watching as his house is getting smacked around by Afreeca. There's the ulti onto Spirit there as well. And yeah, Afreeca, this has been a masterclass in early game domination and snowball control. But SeolHaeOne Prince, they need to go back to the drawing board here, as we're going to have a look at the Archangel staff sitting at about 500 stacks. Not even a Seraphs at the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, the Costa just getting set up for failure right at level 1. I'm really sad that we didn't get to see how Mickey blundered it, because something had to go catastrophically wrong with how he played out level 1. And these are really the areas where, when you go into the nitty-gritty of it, it really showcases errors that pro players are making.
Yeah.
And that you can learn a lot from, because it expands into other states of the game as well as other areas of the laning phase. Spirit, I ended up giving him player of the game as Afreeca completely annihilate SeolHaeOne Prince here in game number 1. They also went for comfort picks. The Kassadin very off-theme with the rest of the champions and the team comp. They couldn't really do anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they're really talking about, because every lane just sort of lost on its own.
Exactly. And it's really hard to identify, like, what are we going to fix now in order to be more competitive in the next game? Because it's like, well, how about we just indicate all of everything? And we'll see whether we can fix that. And that's not exactly going to be very good. So SeolHaeOne Prince certainly have a tough task ahead of them. I think that going for some more priority in potentially that mid lane would be a very good idea. As you can see, this is a bit of a cliff.
Yeah.
28 minutes, so not exactly Damwon style as far as their win time. I think,
not impressed.
Yeah, Damwon were like 24 minutes and 23 minutes in their last match. So Afreeca's got to catch up if they want to be able to get there, but it was actually more controlled and more clean.
Yeah.
They lost 1 tower and 1 kill. Otherwise, it was just absolute destruction of SeolHaeOne Prince. And largely to do with that Poppy was so good.
Yeah, I mean, Spirit really well piloting of the Poppy here in game number 1. And I mean, this is the same song and a dance for Afreeca, as they destroy side teams and then get destroyed by West Side. And a lot of it is sort of in their play. So we'll see what happens in game number 2.
Exactly right, guys. We'll see you after the break.
해도 되나? 야 온다 세트
해봐. 피했어 일단. 딜라이 올려줄게. 천천히 가. 내
야,
주변에
여기 앞에 볼게
붙어.
야 스톤 제대로 갔다
나이스.
나궁 있어 그대로 끝내자 끝낼만해 나 풀벽궁도 돼 아직
파사딘한테 스킬 다 꼽아.
거리 나오면 풀벽궁 해줄게
나 궁도 돼.
나힐
야, 얘 궁 한번 쓰면
가운데
그냥
이속
같이
이속
타겟팅 하자. 네. 오케이, 타워 치자.
내가 타워 좀 깨줄래?
웨이브
웨이브
왔어.
웨이브 왔어
아파. 더블 줄게. 이거.
풀벽궁 한번 내긴 하는데
스턴 맞았다.
안 하겠다
개 빨리 풀려.